going on, everyone? And welcome to Kart 6T3. My name is Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by. Real quick, if you didn't mind hitting a like on this video, possibly subscribe to the channel if you are brand spanking new here. If you are brand new here, welcome. I am. My name is Ben, and we talk about all things karting related, all things racing related, and all sorts of stuff. If you are new to karting, we want you here. We want you to skip a lot of the very long, arduous task of learning what it takes to become a kart racer, what it all entails, everything from tires to chassis setup, everything and anything I can possibly think of that has to do with karts and kart racing and all the stuff. We all try and combine it right here and give you guys a little taste of it. So, Kart 63 is brought to you by Track Tack Tire Treatments. Track Tack Tire Treatments, Track Tack Tire Treatments, Track Tack Tire Treatments, treatments for tires and tracks. Go fast and finish a race. If you have any questions, if you are new to the sport, if you are getting into dirt oval kart racing and you're wondering about this prep stuff and what it has to offer for speed for you, if you are interested in getting into Track Tack, ask me some questions. I will do my best to get you pointed in the correct direction, even if you're brand new and starting. And if you're brand new and starting, PRW Orange. I will put that one out there. If you are brand new, you've never used prep before, you just want to see what prep can do to a tire, PRW Orange is going to be my very first recommended prep to you because it is not aggressive enough to drop the durometer of the tire, but it is going to make the tire fire off quicker, which gets you engaged into the track quicker. That was a pretty long intro. So I am making this video as a service. Kind of, it was an idea I had, and it also gave me an excuse to talk about some new stuff. There are some chassis manufacturers that are coming out with new chassis. There is a chassis manufacturer I'm kind of excited to see come back. There's a chassis manufacturer that I think has a really nice piece, as they call it. And it gave me an excuse to talk about it. So what we're talking about today is for 2025, this coming season. Are you going with a brand new chassis? Are you selling off what you once had? Are you new? You're buying brand new, whatever. Or are you going to refurbish essentially what you have and just go ahead and run it next year as well? Okay, what do I mean by refurbish, Ben? What do you mean by refurbish? All right, now, I guess if you were that invested in it, if I was that invested into taking my 2017 Phantom Recon and tearing it all down to bones, right down to chassis, bare chassis, sending it off and having it media blasted and powder coated so it was fresh. Could you do that? Yes, you could do that. Do I know of anybody around me that does powder coating? No. And that's okay. I don't plan on it for now. You could, and I get this question often. Can you paint them? Sure. It's not going to be as strong as a powder coating was. There's a reason why they use powder coating on a chassis, because it's a lot more durable than paint is. But could you tear the whole thing down, give it a nice cleaning, a degreasing, a scuffing, and a painting? Absolutely. I might actually do that with the Recon this year. So what I'm talking more so about refurbishing is the bearings and components. Going over with a fine-tooth comb what you need to replace before next season. Now, if you are not in the market and you're not going to be in the market for new spindles, do I think that is overly necessary if you're a Saturday night racer? No, I don't. But what you should be doing is looking at replacing bearings not only in the spindles, but you're going to want Heim ends for your steering components. You're going to want rear axle bearings. You're going to want hub bearings for inside the front hubs, so all your bearings are fresh, new, and rotating properly. Now, this is, I know brand new chassis are expensive and all that stuff, but if you little by little, if it is too daunting of a task, if financially you are not in the position to purchase all the bearings all at once, do them a little at a time. If you see a sale happening, if you're searching around, if you know what size bearings you actually need for whatever chassis you're running, just pick up a set of rear bearings. And throughout the winter, just accumulate everything you need to refurbish your chassis so you're good to go for the next season. Now, do you need to replace everything? Chances are probably not, but I'm going to recommend you do it anyway, because you never know when something is on the, it may not be shaking now. A Heim end for your steering arms, it may not be shaking right now. They may not be loose right now, but they are going to be. Those of us who are racing on dirt ovals, there's a lot of shaking, a lot of friction, a lot of G-forces, and those components do wear out over time. So right now they might be fine. Is it a good idea to replace them? Absolutely. Now, making this video, the excuse I'm using to make this video is because of this. There are some chassis manufacturers, and I saw it was really kind of led on by Phantom. I know other manufacturers are making new chassis, but Harold and Brittany were playing a game of cornhole. And if nobody noticed that in that video, it says Tricon on the cornhole boards. Oh, what's that all about? Well, there's the Triton and there's the Recon. What's a Tricon? Is that something new? Is that something that's coming in the works? I do believe it is. I mean, we've, those of us who've been paying attention, and I've been racing on Phantom Recons since 2017, so obviously I pay attention to Phantom, and we've been wondering when, the Deuce came out, then the Scythe, and then back to the Recon, we were wondering when a new kart chassis was going to come out, and I believe it's going to be maybe fairly soon. It piqued my interest, and it got me thinking about this whole next season. Now, somebody like me, I say, are you getting a new cart or are you going to refurb? Chances are I'm going to refurb my cart. I'm not in the financial position in order to be buying chassis, but that doesn't mean that some of my audience isn't. And things like new chassis, offered by Phantom, excites me. I want to see what the design is. I want to see them get out there. I want to see them perform well. Also, I've mentioned that on this channel before, Premier's getting ready to eventually release the V3, V1, V2, V3. Premier's there. Actually, the one that is coming back, I really do hope so, is Infinity. Infinity Racing Chassis, owned by Ward. It holds a special place in my heart because my Infinity Epic was the very first UAS win I ever got. I was on, it was a prototype Infinity Epic, but it was an Infinity Epic all the same. And I raced that chassis for a long time till I bent it. And then it was, obviously no good and it had to be replaced. But they hold a special place in my heart. So when I saw, them put out the kind of press release, if you want to call it, we're a small community here, but it was, hey, Infinity's coming back out, and they've got people in place in order to get this brand back out there. I made a list, so I'm just going to look down here. As far as I know, Ultramax staying the same. They're not the rival, the new one. Drawing a blank. Give me a second. I'll pause. And then I'll say it. Evolve. I knew it was in there. The Evolve, as far as I know, that is going to stay the same. I haven't heard anything as far as Charger or Millennium, any of the major manufacturers. Slack, I think they made adaptations to make the Elevate. They call it the Slack Elevate now. And I believe they just made some mild changes on that chassis. But another one that I wanted to mention, if you follow my Facebook at all, is Demon Racing Chassis. Is it Denver Smith? I'll put his name here. DSE is engineering. So not only do I think it is a very nice chassis design. I think it is nice and clean and to the point, but the Demon Asylum, I freaking love that name. I don't know. It's Halloween time. My wife and I, we really overdo it. Halloween time, the decorations around our house, and something about that scary movie Asylum type of, I freaking love the name. I saw that the first time. I thought it was amazing. I got looking at the chassis. A lot of great features, and the best part about the Asylum is it's a real reasonable chassis price. If you've noticed, everything's more expensive. We all know this, but as far as getting yourself a brand new chassis, it's one of the more reasonable ones. You know, I have no, obviously I've never raced one, so I don't know how they perform, but I love to see that. I love seeing I don't even want to say a budget because it's not really budget, just a more reasonably priced chassis that looks as good as that one does. So I just get excited about the new season. I get excited about what is coming because, you know, we are on karts. There is, you know, there's no, you know, did you get better valving in your shocks? There's no new springs. There's this and that. Our chassis is the spring. It is the transfer rates. It is the everything to us. So when a chassis manufacturer or chassis manufacturers come out with brand new stuff, it excites me. It makes me wonder who has been able to find even a tick more speed, who's been able to broaden the window. That's, you know, there's a very real thing in kart racing that you can make an extraordinarily fast kart, but it is very tire sensitive. You better be in this durometer range of, say, 52 to 55 on durometer, and you better nail your inside prop. You better be on it. Then there, you know, do you give up, you know, you may give up a little raw speed, a tiny bit of raw speed to open that window up, to make that a little more user-friendly, a little more Saturday night-friendly type of chassis. That's a very real thing. And all these designs, every time they move a bar, every time they move a 1/4 inch, an 1/8 inch, every time they, you know, a crossbar, they change the position of the waist, the center of the cart, the front hoop. Everything like that all changes the dynamics of the chassis and adds or decreases speed in some fashion. And I'm here for it. I love design aspect. I've done a video before that I love chassis design. I still do. And it's this point in time when it's nearing the end of the season. You know, yes, I know down south you keep on racing, whatever. You know, act like you're better than all of us up north. You can't race anymore because it's cold. But now becomes the time where they're really starting to focus on finishing up everything, what they're releasing for 2025, for the new year, and if they're making any changes, if they're doing this, doing that, and I'm here for it. I find it a very exciting time when a time where I'm not racing, I need to find excitement in our sport, and now is the time. Now is the time when I see the, you know, the little teasers from Phantom, and, you know, I see the Hermie Sadler, you know, putting out, you know, oh, it's getting close, we're getting feedback, and all this stuff. I think it's wonderful, and I don't mean to leave off other chassis manufacturers. It's not my intent. I'm not meaning to push you aside. I get talking, I forget about things. It took me forever to remember what cornhole was. So it's not you, it's me. Sometimes it just doesn't roll off the tongue. So anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for stopping by. It just, now is the time that it also becomes difficult for me because we're not in the throes of the race season. I'm not, you know, in the midst of race season, in race mode. These videos become a little more difficult for me to talk about stuff because I'm not, you know, in it all the time. So bear with me. You know, some of these videos, I don't want to see it will be dull or boring because obviously I try and make them as entertaining as possible. But it becomes tough. It really does. Now it's a trying time for kart racing, and I don't mean as a whole. I just mean for me. Anyway, Kart 63 is brought to you by Track Tag Tire Treatments. If you have any questions at all, if you're new to prep, you want to learn about prep, you need something just to be like, hey man, I've heard about prep. What do you do to tires? Ask me. I will do my best to get you pointed in the right direction, and we'll go from there. So thank you very much, everyone, for stopping by. We're, on a side note, because of the video that did so well, I'm nearing 10,000 subscribers, and I can't thank all of you enough. Whether you're new or old, or, you know, whatever reason you're here, if it's just because I hit a viral video, it's fine. You know, please tune into some of my stuff. Hear what I have to say. If you're into racing, if you want to, you know, learn about kart racing, please consider subscribing. Consider staying here. Consider learning. I'm here for you to help you have a better experience in kart racing. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next. Well, I'll try and do a live Thursday. Sorry about that. It's Halloween. It is what it is. All right. I'll see you in the next. I'll see you Thursday, and then for another video next Sunday. All right. Later.